How you doing, YouTube? It's Will from Will Development. This is my 231st weekly update. Gonna try to keep things kind of quick because I am tired today. Run ragged from work and training, and I just want to finish this video and head to bed. So, this was the 10th week of my 10-week training block, and as per usual, things didn't go exactly according to plan. And it started with Monday. So what happened was, Sunday I felt pretty good, and I just took a very, very restful day. Didn't do a hell of a lot. I did my sort of daily back care stuff, but that was about it. Didn't really go out, didn't go shopping, didn't do much. Kind of my own fault. I probably should have done something, but I was kind of worn out from Saturday. So I was like, you know what, I want to take a nice day off and just do nothing. And on the day, it was great, and I sort of ended up going to bed pretty late on Sunday. And, it was my own fault. I just ended up staying late because of this, that, or the other. Just undisciplined, that's all it was. And I woke up on Monday, and when I originally woke up, I was like, I feel good, actually. I was like, I feel like I could have slept a little more, but I don't necessarily feel any unusual pains or anything like that. And I went, cool. So got up, went to brush my teeth. Everything still felt fine. I went, all right, let me go grab my phone, just check and see what's going on where, and yada yada. And then just out of nowhere, the right side of my low back just spasmed, and it was just like terrible muscle pain, and it was just like to the point where it was hard to breathe. And I mean, it was bad. And it was a funny thing because I've had some low back pain, but it's been very localized, specifically to like the left side of my low back. If I sat down and looked at a chart, I could probably tell you which two vertebrae it seems to be. I'm probably somewhere around L5 and stuff, but it's like right around there, but only on the left side and only in certain positions. Do I feel it really bad? Most of the time I don't even notice it. Like standing here right now, nothing. But, and I'm going to do a video on that too, like what actually happened, because I didn't actually injure myself training. I did do a silly thing while training, and that exacerbated the problem, but the original problem didn't actually happen during training, which is a very unfortunate thing that happens to like 99% of people. I think most people actually hurt themselves outside of a gym, and then the gym gets the bad rap because that's where it ends up sort of flaring up the most. Or people just assume that's what caused it. But I kind of sat down and traced it back. I'll do the video on that. Probably I'll shoot it this weekend if I have time. I don't know if I will. I have a very busy weekend here. So anyway, Monday is supposed to be squats. I wanted to hit somewhere around 350, and this pain was so bad to the point where it was hard for me to get in and out of my car. Luckily, I drive a small truck. I drive a Ranger, so it's not too low. It's more like getting up into it and then sliding out of it. But it was so bad. I mean, nothing was making it feel better. I tried a lot of things, foam rolling to the point, I was to that point, and I'm not a big fan of foam rolling. I think it's a little overrated. But I even tried that, just anything. Only thing that really did help was I have a car buffer that I've used every once in a while, which seems to really help open up and loosen muscles really well. Which, if you haven't tried one, give it a shot. I think it's best used as like a warm-up. I don't really necessarily recommend it, from my personal experience, as like a recovery tool or recovery aid. It honestly, if anything, it made me feel more sore the next day. But the day of doing it, I felt very woken and just sort of everything was firing right every time after I used the buffer. So I would use it as almost a pre-workout, if anything. But even then, I think it kind of loosens the muscles. So it's I got to do more experimenting with that before I give any strong opinions on it. But that's my quick tidbit. Needless to say, I did not hit my 350 because it was just every single squat. Part of it too was because I had to take each rep super slow. On my 315, I sort of bounced out of the bottom, and that's how I like to do a lot of my squats, kind of explosively. And when I did that, it was just like, oh my God, nothing bent wrong or anything like that. It was just the amount, the immense pressure of going down and then coming back up, especially when it came out, because I locked out so fast, the bar kind of bounced a little bit, and it didn't even come off my back. Normally with 315, I can make the bar come off my back when I get out of that mid position. And I didn't even do that, but that shaking of the bar, it was like, oh my God. So I ended up doing 335, and it was probably the best looking 335 I've actually ever done, even though I had to go super slow, hit good depth, everything stayed tight, had minor knee cave, but, I'm going to let it slide just because everything else was so fucked up. So I say, okay, Tuesday is my press day. I wanted 175. The math said 175. I ended up getting to 170. And I did actually attempt my 175 after all that, but honestly, everything was still so fucking beat up. It was just that dog was not going to hunt. So I said, okay, I have Wednesday and Thursday off, and then I have to deadlift on Friday. And I wanted 385 for my deadlift, and I wanted it to look good. I said, all right. So did a lot of walking, did a lot of moving, some light stuff to try to engage my back as much as I could, engage my core as much as I could, and just try to keep my trunk rigidity as much as I possibly could and make sure everything's staying really tight. And honestly, it was still killing me, just absolutely killing me. By Thursday, it felt better. Did a little self-medication because somebody gave me some homebrewed beer they had made, and I don't really drink that much. It was the first drink I've had since maybe New Year's, maybe even before. No, I didn't even drink on New Year's. I think back on my birthday is the last time I had a drink, which was in September. I don't drink much. I don't like it, honestly, that much, but whatever, doesn't matter. But I said, let me try something. And alcohol affects me very strongly. I'm a super pathetic lightweight, like one beer and I'm dizzy and I can't function as well. And that's exactly what happened. But it was nice because it did numb me a little bit, so, that did help sort of sleep, but of course alcohol helps you not sleep as well. So, there's that. Anyway, today being Friday, got up in the morning, everything was feeling better. I mean, Monday it was a 9, maybe even an 8.5 to a 9 at any given moment. If I moved just the right way, it was like, oh my God, And then by Friday it was down to about a 4, about constantly. And then I deadlifted today and worked up to a 375. A few things went wrong. I was using a new bar that we just got in the gym. It was a deadlift bar, brand new deadlift bar we just got. And I haven't touched a deadlift bar in like 4 years. And I wasn't quite used to it. And when I originally sort of pushed off the floor, I ended up sort of rounding just a little bit, but I stayed locked in where I rounded it, and then everything finished. So it's one of those things where it's not exactly what I wanted, but I'm going to give it to myself. I mean, I think on my Instagram post, I ended up calling it, at Will Development, by the way, I ended up calling it like a 7.5 out of 10. I don't know if I'm going to use the deadlift bar that often, honestly. I think a stiffer bar is harder, so it's going to challenge me better, make me stronger, etc., etc. All that being said, moving into the new program, I'm going to take a week and just do a shit ton of volume work, which will hopefully help my back more, because honestly, after the deadlift, my back feels a lot better now in terms of I just don't feel it right now, which is great. That's what I'm looking for, So that's where I'm at. Look forward to some volume work next week on my weekly videos, my 2 videos, the week ofs. And remember, sometimes using the muscles how they should be used is actually the best thing for them. But just don't stop moving. If you get injured, don't stop moving. I'll talk about this when I do my back video. But don't stop moving. Movement is the best thing you can do. Time is the only thing that's going to make the pain go away. So be patient if you have some sort of injury. Whether it's your back, your arms, anything, it's time and movement. It's so simple. That's all there is to it, and you just kind of got to grit it sometimes and get through it. But if you can get through it, you're 10 times better for it. If you can't get through it, and you won't get through it, then what's your excuse?